Hello and welcome to today's video. We're going to cover Worlds 2022 and the narratives that come with the final 8 teams going into quarterfinals that start Thursday. Down in the description, you're going to see 3 links: Twitter, Discord, YouTube memberships. Twitter, follow me there. Discord, join us. There's roughly 325 or so people in there. There's areas where people can make predictions. We have pick'ems. We have a player pool format that's like fantasy league, if you will, and other things. And then YouTube memberships, $3 supports me. You get a badge in the comment section. I'd really appreciate it. $10 tier, you get extra content, including my predictions for who I think will win each quarterfinal matchup the night before the games take place. Those videos generally come out around the time of the roundup or whenever I really have a chance to get them out the day before, as well as American football, fantasy football content. So if that interests you, that's at the $10 tier. Just want to say thank you for subscribing. We reached 3,000 subscribers before this video went up. Watch, it's going to be 2,999 now. Somebody will unsub or something, but 3,000. Thank you for coming along with me on this journey. Going into MSI, I had like 50 subs, and I put out daily content. I've been putting out daily content since, well, leading up to spring, I think. And I've been doing videos ever since. I would not be shocked at all if I have 1,000 videos in a year. I wouldn't be. I put out a ton of content. I'm a content grinder. I do work. So, this video, what the hell is the point of this video, right? So we have the 8 teams and what the narratives are going into it. This is kind of me just BSing. So with this, we all know there are some teams better than others, and there's no ranking to this. I believe I actually did do it, the 4 matchups, but I'm not saying who I think is going to win or lose, and I don't have a rooting interest really in this Worlds. I don't have a favorite team, so that's kind of why I like making a video like this, because I can see the narratives for all 8 teams, at least the way I see it, and as an unbiased fan, maybe I can help the fans of teams that aren't listed here try and choose which one they want to actually root for. Not necessarily who you think is going to win, but who you'd like to see win and for what reason possibly. Now, with JDG coming into this event, they play an aggressive style. They're topside heavy with 369 and Kanavi. Yagao in mid, otherwise known as Toothpaste, I believe. A solid player, a player that I ranked lower than a lot of people liked or wanted to have. I had him ranked lower than a lot of people wanted me to have him ranked. So he's been good at times, a little sussy at other times this tournament. JDG in general have, despite getting out of their group and, getting to quarterfinals in a good spot. They had a lot of bumps along the way. Bot lane actually has been pretty consistent as well. Now, with this, we have a team with a Chinese mid laner. We haven't had a Chinese mid laner ever win Worlds. And the fact of the matter is, with Top being out, JDG have, a lot on their plate. They are, the Chinese team that's very highly ranked going into this event. Like RNG and EDG obviously are going to have pressures of their own as well, but for various reasons, where JDG coming into this event are very hyped, so there's a lot of pressure there. And if you like aggression, you like a strong topside carry meta or a strong jungler that can play a lot of different champions, JDG is a fun team to watch. Very scrappy team. Plays Smash Mouth League, which I believe, which I term as aggressive, very, very aggressive league. It's a type of league I like to watch. It's high risk, high reward. JDG do very well in team fights, so a lot more reward than risk, but they've definitely been in positions where they could have lost games. So, going into this event, I had them as a world contender for the win. I only had 3 teams. Top are now out, and it was JDG and gen.g. And I think JDG, are still, a threat. Rogue, In the case of Rogue, this is, I mean, if you're a Western fan, they are the West's last hope. Um, Otawamne, I guess, I mean, I read that, well, I read on Twitter, and this had happened, that earlier on in his career at Worlds, he was able to pull off a massive upset in quarterfinals and go to semifinals when everybody thought it wasn't going to happen. I think that was the H2K year or Origin year. I don't really. But regardless, Rogue are that Western team that kind of, I mean, they're here. They're here, right? Now, are they going to win or lose? Remains to be seen. European teams have beaten Chinese teams in the past. Fnatic more often than others, but G2 has as well. Malrung, a player that has been much maligned. I mean, I myself had him ranked extremely low, and in that meta, I mean, I really didn't like what he was doing. In the carry meta, I really don't think that he is strong either, but he has shown up in big moments along the way here and done well. So there is that to root for. Obviously, Larson in mid, very solid player, still riding the Malmo buff, and Comp and Trimby. Comp's been around the block with a couple teams and finally found a home. Trimby plays a lot of different things in bot lane, is willing to try things out, has no fear when it comes to composition, and frankly, I think that is something very fun and entertaining to consider and contemplate going into the quarterfinals. That is he going to pull out a Soraka? Is he going? He pulled out the Nasus. It didn't work. I doubt that comes back. But the Sorakas, the geez, why would every? I mean, he plays a lot of enchanters, right? I don't know why everything's escaping me, but we're winging this. So, Rogue, West's last hope. If that is what you want to root for, that would be, the team. T1. So T1 and RNG, just to put them together, obviously MSI rematch, that is enough. Like, I am, honestly, when I saw the group draw, I wasn't going to do a group draw video. Everybody and their mother does a group draw video, and why would I do what everybody else is doing? But the fact of the matter is, the MSI rematch did happen. It's lined up to occur, and I'm really happy about that. Now, with T1, obviously, the storyline is Faker, right? Can Faker get another world championship? Can he go out with a win with these young guys? Zeus, Owner, Gumayushi, and Keria, three of the players, very raw. Only been to a couple international events, if at all, and are the future of T1, right? And like the Yankees, you look at the New York Yankees, you look at Montreal Canadiens, you look at, I'm trying to think of a football team here, American football team, that can just win with different iterations. I mean, I guess the New England Patriots, when they had Brady, Faker being Brady, and then, every piece around him doing well as they get casted off because they can't, keep them. T1, this would be big. This would be big. It would be a cherry on top to Faker's career. It's the greatest of all time. Obviously, it'd be, I think, everybody, you either love T1 or you hate T1, just like all those other teams. You just hate that they win a lot, or you love that they win a lot. And I think that at this point in Faker's career, it would be cool that he did go out with a win. If it would be the end. Obviously, a lot of star players tend to play too long. Tom Brady, for example. But at the same time, I think it would be really cool if that could happen. And also Zeus, Owner. I think that the team is cracked. I mean, the team, I think, is the most skilled team at Worlds, which is something to consider. So, I mean, outside of mid lane, but it's going to be fun. Now, RNG, we got a COVID situation going on. Everybody had COVID last week. Hopefully, they're kind of past the worst of it going into this series. I honestly, I mean, it was a hot take, but I thought, if one of them takes a trip to the ER, or two of them, maybe they get those games postponed. And it would have sucked, but at the same time, I mean, the way they looked, should they have been going to the doctor? I don't know. Should they have been playing League? I don't think so. So, there's that. RNG's never won Worlds. and they've won MSI multiple times. Obviously, Uzi is gone. Uzi is gone, and all of a sudden they're here, right? They won MSI and they're here, and you know, going from Bin to Breathe. I am a massive Bin fan, but Breathe has done well at times in this event. Wei has done well. Xiaohu does his job, and then Gala and Ming do their jobs. You know, it'd be cool if they were able to follow up MSI with a win at Worlds and finally overcome that. Gen.g, excuse me, odds-on favorite coming into this event. Chovy, best player in the world overall. Ruler, best AD carry, at least in my opinion, going into this event. Lehens, top 10 in his role. Peanut, top 10 in his role. And Doran, kind of just the finishing piece of the puzzle. And, you know, if you're a Chovy fan, this is a team to root for. Chovy's been with 4 teams in 4 years. Sorry about the garbage truck in the background. And Ruler won once a few years back, but now he's back again. And hopefully he can, you know, finish the deal this time with Lehens instead of Core JJ. You know, I think Gen G, the biggest narrative for me would be Chovy. I am a big Chovy fan. So 4 teams in 4 years finally is here with an opportunity to win. That's a pretty big deal. Damwon Kia. So Damwon Kia got the gang back together, at least top jungle mid this past split after a couple of years, a year and a half without Nuguri or so. Canyon and Showmaker have really turned it up as of late. Later on in the split, and then in this tournament, they've definitely taken a next step. Duck Dom on Aphelios, very reminiscent of Ghost and Jin, playing a champion that people really don't want to ban, but at a very high level. Kellen's doing his job as well. Damwon, the closest thing to a dynasty we've had since T1. I think that it is definitely within reason that they could make a run like they did last year, runner-ups, trying to, get the job done here. EDG, defending champions, they got that going for them. I've definitely, throughout the split, was a naysayer, and I think the JJ Junjia stuff, they finally worked it out. JJ's playing, so that's better for them that they have figured it out. Scout, going with the flow. He's a solid player. Is he taking over games? No, but he is doing his job. A lot of these players are doing their jobs, and if you're looking for a team that's trying to prove that last year wasn't a fluke, EDG is it. Viper, maybe the best AD carry in the world. I know I said Ruler was the best, but Viper definitely is in that conversation. Oh, by the way, I forgot to even mention RNG. If RNG win, they end up being the first all-Chinese team to win, which would be, interesting and fun. Now, the reason why I thought of that is because EDG have a couple Koreans. But beside the point, EDG have definitely taken it up a notch. Going into a series against DRX, this has some storylines to it leading into DRX. Deft, former EDG bot laner. Deft, one of the best bot laners of all time. This might be his last run. I know that there are rumors that he might come back, but we just mentioned how, sometimes, maybe you want to go out, with a bang and not go out with a whimper, right? And have the last, image of yourself, especially with a legacy and career like Deft had. You don't want to go out in 8th place, right? In LCK and the international stage and international fans, people that support you don't get to watch you in your final, run. Last year he did it with HLE, and this year he's doing it with DRX. The storyline in that series is, quite big when it comes to him. Zeka's definitely stepped it up, but DRX are the underdog. There's no doubt. If you are a fan of the underdog, DRX are the underdog. Kingen is sus. Pioshik's finally playing in the jungle, but still pretty sus. Zeka is a young player trying to make his name, taking the next step in his career on the international stage. That's a big deal. And like I said, bot lane Deft. Somebody watch. So, I don't know. This is just kind of a rambling video. Thank you for watching. Comment down below with what you think the narratives are going into quarterfinals. Do not do predictions and things like that of who you think's going to win. That's not what this video is about. This video is more about like what are the storylines, what would be, you know, a good, a feel good story with these teams. You know, like, oh, it'd be nice if they won because of X reason or whatever. So, thank you for watching this video. Once again, I really appreciate you guys subscribing. I know roughly 57% of the viewers of this video are not subscribed last time I looked. But that's fine. Like the video if you like it. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube member. Tomorrow I will have a video up. It'll be my LOL Esports Roundup. I'm going to probably talk about Papa Smithy and then, you know, give a preview of the first quarterfinal matchup. So stay tuned for that, and thank you for watching.